to the bold analysis. William Ruto is already sending bad news to Kithure Kindiki and setting him up for the massive rejection in the 3 counties of Embu, Meru, and Tharaka counties. And I want to say unequivocally that Kindiki should sit down and watch this podcast. Or if you can watch this podcast, you can share my insights about what Michael Macarena is saying. And I can tell you, and I'm going to show you, why the message from Macarena about Kithure Kindiki's programs or other popularity in Mount Kenya has come directly from Farouk Kibet camp and president's handlers who feel that the deputy president is not doing much to convince the voters in Mount Kenya. And I want to show you there is a massive fallout between Ruto and his deputy. It started this way with Rigathi Gachagua and ended up in an impeachment motion. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. Thank you very much for supporting our videos. Subscription is absolutely free. The advantage here is when you subscribe to a YouTube channel, you'll be getting notifications when we publish our videos, and so you'll not miss. Remember, subscription is absolutely free, and there is no amount of money that is going to be deducted from your account when you subscribe to our channel. So subscribe. Now, without much ado, I want us to take time and listen to the 7-minute video that Michael Macarena has just posted in his Facebook page. I've just found it now, and I can tell you, I think this is, I'm the first analyst to have seen this, the statements, the insights, and the message from Macarena.
Tuko na Mike Macarena. Mike,
yes,
unasema unapiga serikali mara uko ndani mara uko nje.
Mimi niko kwa serikali.
Uko wapi?
Mimi kutoka mwanzo na kuanga mtu wa ODM. Na Raila alisema tuwe ndani ya serikali. Ile kitu ilinitoa kwa Raila ni vile mtoto yetu alipewa deputy president. Kindiki kupewa deputy president, nikajua Ruto ametufanyia kitu ya maana na ametusaidia kama Wameru. Sisi tumeishi na makasensi wetu wa Kikuyu, wameishi na uongozi, hatujawahi jua kama tutafikiwa. So wakati niliona Mumeru na Muembu, jua hakuna tofauti ya Mutharakanithi na Meru, tukajua sisi tumesaidika. Kindiki alipopewa nafasi, tulijua hata sisi tutakuwa na power. Lakini Kindiki amepewa power, amekuwa weak. Mpaka Gachagua anasukuma president pale kwa kona. Kusunguka kupeana pesa sio kusukuma Gachagua. Kindiki kusukuma Gachagua ni kukaa Mount Kenya. Tuambie kasensi wetu. Tumeishi na nyinyi over 30 years. Tukiwa support. Sasa ni mtoto wetu ndiye amepewa nafasi. Naye hata waimbaji hataki kuona waimbaji wa Meru. So atashinda wapi? We mahali umesaliwa, kama utaki kukaa hapo utakaa wapi?
So insipo Kindiki hataki watu wa Meru.
Kindiki ndiye hatutaki. Sisi tunamtaka kwa sababu tulipewa power. Na tunaambia president asante kwa tupea hiyo nafasi. Lakini nataka kumwambia Kindiki hivi na niambie wa Meru. Wale wanaweza pea mtoto wenu wa India. Alipewa ile nafasi ndiye alete kura za hapa mlima. Si za Kenya. Kama Ruto alimpea nafasi hiyo alete kura za Kenya, angeleta akina Njoo, angeleta akina Mudavadi, Kenya yote imewekwa pamoja, angeleta akina Ndwale. Na most likely Kindiki akifikiria Ruto ni rafiki yake, kura sikimkataa, Gilande Ziwanga atakuwa deputy president. Gilande Ziwanga atakuwa deputy president. Huyu akicheza kubebana na pesa na mabagi yenye ieleweki. Pale yeye Kindiki anafaa awe na program. Nyumbani unabeba pesa ya nini kuenda na pesa nyumbani?
Si empowerment bwana.
Empowerment gani? Nyumbani pale tuko na kina Kamano, tunakaa kina Karimi Bruno. Ndio wanafaa waimbie wa Meru. Waelezee yule mama maelewi lugha nyingine. Wamuelezee kwa nini tuna support Ruto. Kwa nini tuna support Kindiki? Kindiki naye ni professor, lakini professor yake imepata power, amechanganyikiwa. Kindiki ukimuuliza walemavu alikuwa analia nini? Ndio tumsupport usiku na mchana, apewe kitu ya deputy president, hawezi jua. Ile mikutano anaitana, ni walemavu wangapi wanaweza kaa kwa hao vijana wanakanyangana hivyo? Na hata hapa naambia rais hivi, president umekutana na kila mtu, anza kupanga. Hapa Mount Kenya president hawezi maliza wiki mbili. Kwa hivyo kama uliamua umepea Kindiki Mount Kenya, Kindiki hataweza. Hata wale MP wako nyuma yake wanakundanganya. Kiti yetu ilikuwa inapewa Kadhuri juzi, kiti ya CS imepotea. Kiti ya CS ikasemekana inapewa mzee ambaye anaheshimika Kiraitu, ikapotea. Kwa nini Kindiki anakanzo hiyo viti? Hapa siakawa watu wanapigana deputy president. Wakati ulikuwa deputy president Mheshimiwa William Ruto, ulikuwa unapigwa na serikali ya Uhuru, lakini ulikuwa unasimama. Watu wanasikia deputy president ameongea ndofu. Sasa Kindiki achagua anaongea anaenda mpaka ng'ambo na Kindiki anazunguka hapa na mbali. What ni nini amefanya? Tukifanya kama mkutano moja hapa na tukifanya kama mkutano kamoja hapa na Njimi na Njenga, Maina Njenga. Anastuliwa na achagua anaambiwa hiyo ni Mugiki imerundi. Kama ni Mugiki imerundi, mbona Gachagua alikuwa anatetemeka? Mbona Gachagua wale watoto walikuwa anaita Mugiki ndiye anatumia saa hii kuhangaisha serikali? Hawa watu hawana, mtu ni professor lakini anatumia watu hawampendi huyu bwana. Unafikiria elected leaders watakusaidia? Wao wenyewe 90% wanaenda nyumbani 620, kura zinafunguliangwa 630, MP karibu wote watabaki wawili ama watatu. Kwa hivyo ile kitu nataka kuambia rais Kindiki, kama ni wewe umemfunga, mwambie arundi Mount Kenya na asikize kila mtu. Na wachane na simu za kila mtu. Awe na leaders wale anapigia simu. Uwezi nipigia simu na upigie driver yangu simu. Useless thing. Ni deputy president gani huyu? Mimi anipigie simu na apigie driver yangu simu. Sasa nani atamsupport akijua yeye anamwamini? Trustworthy ya Kindiki ndio inafanya aende kwake Meru na pesa. Ndio watu wanjitokeze. Mimi na Kawera tukiambia watu tunakuja. Kindiki tukiambia watu sisi tunakuja, wanatokea wao wenyewe wasikie tunasema nini. Kuwa na lote na watu wako, si pesa bwana. Sundi naona hapa Sundi engineer ana empower watu wao. Unaona mawili baro, unaona wale wengine wamenunuliwa pikipiki vinyozi, anaenda anawapea kwa kiwanja. Tena unaita watu kwako kufanya nini? Unaita wako kwa mboma unafunga geti ya nini? Na ni kwenu nyumbani. Wao unafaa ukikifika Meru, unashuka unatembea kama vile Ruto anatembea huko kwao. Unatembea vile Raila anatembea kwao. Unajifungia nini kwa nyumba? Na kiti ni yako. Kwani utaogopa Gachagua mpaka uingie kwa choo? Yaani Kindiki amefukuzwa na Gachagua sasa anaongea kama amefunga milango. Wewe kama umsupport hataki kuongea na wewe. Nataka kuambia Kindiki wa Meru, tunakuambia uache maringo. Kana mwananchi akuambia ni nini anataka, uambie rais direct. Na wacha kuambia rais kanzo kiti ya huyo alikuwa former gavana Kananu. Ya nini umekanzo? Ni mtoto wenu. Umepewa nafasi uambie president ni nani atamsaidia kufanya kazi. Na from today, maprofesa wote watoe viraoni wakuje sasa niwasaidie mimi. Chama ni wa my illiterate. Na ukienda nyumba hizi zote zimejengwa mahali ile mzuri yote. Hakuna profesa ako na mahali ya maana. Na Kenya ikiongozwa na masomo peke yake, hatutaendelea. Nani atalima mahindi? Nani atajua ni nini itakuliwa? Kwa hivyo hata president aende chini kidogo. Changanya watu bwana. Mandigiri ndio inafanya unaona mtu ana masomo. Gachagua anatupiga mpaka kila mtu anaongelea Gachagua. Huyu si Gachagua. Tulikuwa tumemsukuma forma ndio mpaka anaanza kulia. Anakuja nyinyi anawababaisha ati akina Makarena ni wa Mugiki. Sasa yeye wale mlivitoa Mugiki ndio anakaa anatumia pesa kila siku. Na hiyo siku kama wangejua, kama wangenisikiza, hawangeshika Gachagua.
Let me show you one thing. When I saw this video, I would want to ask you a question. Who do you think Macarena is speaking on behalf? That message is a very heavy, and it's not easy for a politician in the caliber of Macarena from Meru to attack the deputy president without the blessings of a bigger camp. And if you listen to Macarena and you want to think that it is him talking, then maybe you still don't understand the Kenyan politics. What is happening here? This message has come straight from State House. This is the Farouk and the Sudis talking to Kindiki. Something is amiss. And I'll give you indicators to show you that this is not Macarena speaking his mind. This is a message well choreographed, and he was told what he needs to deliver to Kindiki. He needed to deliver president's message to Kindiki. Look at these pointers. Pointer number 1. He's discrediting the MPs who are moving around with Kindiki, and they're donating state money. Look at this photo. This was photo taken today. As we talk, the deputy president was hosting 3,500 delegates in his Tharaka Nithi residence. And he paid them. Now, Mgala Mwe Hakimpe, I support the question by Macarena that if you're going to talk to your people, why must you bribe delegates in Tharaka Nithi? Why must you, what kind of, I want you to imagine today, Raila goes to a Poda farm and is calling delegates from Luo Nyanza and is bribing them. Do you think Ruto needs to go to a Singishu to call people in some place and give them delegates and give them money to listen to him? Do you think Kalonzo Musyoka wants to talk to Kamba Nation? He will go to Kitui residence and pay delegates to come and listen to him and young people? And there is a question of you are wasting money. And I want to show you. Before even Macarena did this video, he shared a very big, he shared a very long post here. I am not a political scientist, but my political experience and deep networks in Mount Kenya tell me that the seat of deputy president will slip right out of our hands if we continue treating things normally. It will go to Luo Nyanza, and Gladys Wanga will be Ruto's running mate in 2027, while Kindiki will be offered the Prime Cabinet Secretary post as a consolation prize for failing to protect his staff. Right now, Kindiki is wasting precious time dancing with the MPs, most of whom are already packing their political suitcases for 2027. If he's serious about survival, he must change strategy and go back to the roots. Walk with the ordinary mwananchi, feel the pulse of the villages, not just flying from one county to the other in empowerment, which is not just flying from one county to the other empowerment, which is not reflecting the expecting political support. Remember, in politics, the ground is the ultimate kingmaker and the ground can be ruthless. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Very brutal. This was a message from Macarena. He said it. And at this point, the reason I'm telling it is well choreographed. Ruto is in Nyanza. Yes. This video yesterday, I saw him, of course, sharing some light moment with Wanga. He's making several trips in Homa Bay, and I think people are raising eyebrows. Clearly sending a message, scouting a friendship with Homa Bay. If it is not a running mate, then probably a very overwhelming support from Luo Nyanza in 2027, especially from Homa Bay. So this also is targeting to entice, to make, to excite a clique of Luo followers who now see Wanga as a potential running mate. I can bet my ancestral land, Wanga will not take that position. Wanga will defend that seat of governor in Homa Bay. It will be suicidal for her to take the deputy president slot. I'm telling you, that will be the end of Ruto. Ruto does not have any way out. About running mate, nikiwe Kindiki tu. Kuna hesabu ingine. Hiyo Nyanza isikudanganye. That one won't work. Raila will not allow MPs to coalesce around Wanga. He will not allow that transition to happen. Look at another indicator that message has come from State House, the Farouks. Cancellation of Kananu and Kiraitu appointments. I understand Kananu was supposed to get some parastatal job which falls under Duale. And then Kiraitu was supposed to be appointed to the cabinet, but it would occasion, not Kiraitu, Gadhuri Murungi, the deputy speaker, but it would occasion Eric Muga, losing his cabinet position, the Minister for Irrigation and Water. So there's a lot of question about that. Now, I'm not defending Kindiki here, but this is the truth. If Ruto wanted to appoint Kananu to any government position, if Ruto wanted to appoint Gathungi or Kiraitu Murungi, Kithure Kindiki cannot be the stumbling block. Someone is just floating that narrative to create a punch against Kindiki. I squarely don't believe, looking at the presidency and how decisions are made, Kithure Kindiki cannot stop Ruto from appointing those fellows to the cabinet. He cannot. So this one, Kindiki is being made a scapegoat. And I want to ask, if Macarena is saying that Kindiki stopped appointments of Kiraitu Murungi, then who has told him that? Who is the appointing authority? It's the president. Then it was the president is the one who has told him that I wanted to appoint so and so, and Kindiki refused. The same allegations that were leveled against Rigathi Gachagua. The same allegations that were leveled against Rigathi Gachagua. And there is a question of Kindiki is using money to wink people in Tharaka. That message, 110% is approved from State House. And it has an objective. And I want to interpret that in the next 3 or 4 minutes of this podcast. Kindiki should be very worried. You must also see this. Devolution conference is underway. Do you see Ruto is opened that devolution conference today, and Raila is going to close it, and there is no session for the deputy president. I remember even during the handshake between President Uhuru and Raila Odinga, the devolution conference that happened, I think it happened somewhere in one of the counties. I can't remember well. Uhuru used to open, Ruto would go another day, Raila would go another day, Raila will actually go to close, or probably Ruto would open, Raila goes one day, Uhuru closes. On this one, it is very true. The position of deputy president is not getting the seriousness, the huge seriousness that it deserves. Ruto is spending more time alone. He's in Homa Bay alone. That rarely happened during the time with Rigathi Gachagua. And he's already sending a message to Kithure Kindiki. Now let me interpret why Sudis and Farouks are sending Kindiki that message. The probability is between these 5. 2 or 3 combined, or just 1. The first one. Ruto is not looking for running mate in Nyanza. I am strongly convinced that he's pursuing Kalonzo, and to bring Kalonzo, he wants to slow down Kithure Kindiki. And it is disturbing to him that Kindiki is going back to his staff. And of course, truth be told, you want to be a deputy president and you're spending more time in Tharaka. These are some of the allegations that were leveled against Rigathi Gachagua. And he was told, and they're saying up to date, that he's a Mulema person. Kindiki is spending more time there. And Ruto is feeling now uncomfortable. And probably they're feeling he's not adding value to the money that is set aside for it. Remember, that money is the confidential budget. Number 2, there is a serious fight for the billions that Kindiki is carrying in the bag. The billions he's carrying in the bag, people are fighting for those billions. You're laughing. That is it. Yes, people are fighting for those billions. Let me tell you. You know, acha nikwambie, siasa ni pesa. We were just making a story the other day and we were asking, who is this politician kama wanasiasa wanafanya biashara? Ni hii biashara gani yenye mtu in 1 week someone can donate 20 million? We were just trying to, like, which kind of business are politicians doing yenye sisi hatufanyi? You know, what are they selling that we are not selling? Like, are they the ones that are doing business? No, there's nothing. And someone was saying, probably they're just getting the real money. A woman in a print, kama pesa inakuwa printed hapa, kuna watu tu wanaendea huko, wanaendea hiyo pesa, wana have that money. Now, People are fighting for Kindiki's money. And you know the thing is this. Amepewa hiyo pesa, and there are people around president that are angling for that money and is spending it alone. Ni hiyo pesa inaleta shida. That is why someone is saying that economic empowerment thing does not work. Why? It didn't start yesterday. It started some 4 months ago. Why are they saying it's not working? It's not working because they're not eating. Either way, it's not supposed to work. It can't work. You know, calling some 100 people and giving them motorbikes, that is not an empowerment. It is not working anyway. But we don't just realize, Makerere did not just realize yesterday, some people are not eating that money. Number 3. Ruto is uncomfortable with MPs coalescing around Kindiki. Ataki hiyo. And the earlier Kindiki knows that, the better. He's completely uncomfortable by the fact that some people are around Kindiki. He doesn't want that sphere of influence. Why? To lower the bargain. I'm telling you, we have differences, probably the brand of politics that Rigathi plays. And you can call it all manner of things, but that is the raw nature of our politics. I agree with Makarina. Kindiki was there to bring Kikuyu vote. And if it is coast, Ruto is looking at Johu. If it is Nyanza, Ruto is looking at Raila. If it is Ukambani, Ruto is looking at Kalonzo. Kindiki was not brought there to bring votes from Kapsowar. No. Was not to bring votes from Tala, from Magarini in Kilifi. No. Our politics are deeply tribal. We are not yet out of it. Probably if Gen Zs were going to save us. But we are still deeply tribal. And the fact that some MPs around Kindiki there inaleta shida. Ataki hiyo. And in fact, what I see is a serious fallout. I'll tell you, I'm going to face this. There is a serious fallout between the office of the president and that of Kithure Kindiki. And people are sending signals because something is not simply working as they opt for. Kindiki is not going to have that seat in 2027. That is becoming more clear. But, or rather, and the notion that the narrative that Raila has replaced Kindiki, it is not really that Raila has replaced Kindiki. No. But that impression has to be created. And you know how it is created? Ruto and Raila goes to an event, a burial in Nyanza. It is by design that Kindiki doesn't attend. They attend with Raila, and Raila is giving superior. I remember in that Prime Cabinet Secretary is there, and Mudavadi has to invite Raila. Raila has to make a speech, then invite Ruto. It has to be made that way. Whenever there is a function, Raila will be giving a superior role, and they know, so that they create that impression. But in real sense, the man receiving the budget for the office of the deputy president is Kithure Kindiki. Raila is not being given money for empowerment. Raila is not being given confidential budget. But that impression has to be created. Why? To make some gullible Luo supporters think that Raila is more powerful. Bwana, Raila cannot become a deputy president. Neither is that Wanga. No. I've had stories about Ruto fishing for a deputy. But one that has become dominant is that of Kalonzo Musyoka. Raila cannot pick Wanga as a deputy president, as a running mate in Luo Nyanza. Now, and Raila was on ballot as a presidential candidate and never got 2 million from Nyanza. Never got 2 million. So if you go and get Wanga as now a running mate, do you want to tell me now Nyanza will vote to the last man? No. Liwe liwalo. Politics is about numbers. And Nyanza don't have those numbers that can match. Remember, we are still tribal. So if you make the tribal arithmetic and you exclude, you isolate Nyanza and Rift Valley, my friend, yes, umepoteza mapema. And the likes of Sifuna saying we are ready to work with Kalonzo or Matiang'i. Na uko hapo unasema it will, wewe. He, hizo hakuna bwana. Let's meet in the next.